Welcome back, friends and neighbors. It is Sunday night mock draft. Hope you guys are doing well. I know you're still reeling from the L'Jarius Sneed trade and the lack of compensation. We're going to take a look at exactly what it does mean and what they achieved right now in scenario one of what I think are two ways the Chiefs can use what they got from the Tennessee Titans. Welcome to RGR Football. I'm Ryan going rogue. This is my channel. Me and my crew lock down the Kansas City Chiefs and look at the entire league to give you a nice overview of how the Chiefs fit into it and how they're winning these championships, how they go about keeping their team at the top of the heat. So please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you get notifications when we come up with new content, which we are doing all the time. You're going to have content from us 5 days a week, always. We are always doing something, and I'm excited about this. I have a couple of announcements. Lot of preparation is going into this year at Rogue APC, and I'm going to pull it up here so you guys can see it because got some exciting new information out there. Rogue APC is my brainchild, my favorite little way that I use my experience in the league. I'm a fourth straight conditioning coach. A little bit of position information from me, longtime physiologist and studier of what the league needs and what it has to do. And so when you take a look, what you get to see is the athletic matrix is now available. I've got it up there. It's ready for download. V1 is out right now. And what that means is V1 is the top 50 prospects as measured at the combine, gives you the athletic matrix, overall scores, explosiveness, and short area quickness. Now, as we go through and we get the pro day data and we get that combined, we're going to have V2 of the athletic matrix. You buy it now, you get the next download when the version is complete. Want to give you a little more incremental here. And I have a secret for you. If you guys want to get in on the action right now, use the code RGR at this site. It is in the link in the actual description of this video, and you can get in on it right now. I'm pretty pumped about what's going on over at Rogue APC. Obviously, we have the draft guide coming for you as well, and a lot of information packed in there with Dan and EJ, Jeff, a lot of contributors to what we have coming out for you this year. It's going to tweak and expand on some of the things we've done in the past, so get prepped for that. Now, today is obviously mock draft. There are two scenarios. We're going to explore one today. The Chiefs got an extra third-round pick next season, next draft cycle. There are two things you can do with it. You can try to trade it away right now, as we're going to do tonight, and work on the mock draft with that trade in the scenario, or you can prep that to have in your pocket for what you have to do in free agency next year. Now, it's a longer, more drawn out, and honestly, a lot more volatile situation, so we're going to hold off on that. But what we're going to do right now is get into the mock draft. And I'll probably stay on screen for a little bit until I'm in the way of displaying what's going on. I want to make sure that everybody gets a good view this year. So what I'm going to try to do is harness the power of that additional pick as we go through this mock draft. Now, there's nothing I can do to hide that top banner, so we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to slow it down so we can see things progress, because we want to particularly look at the first round. We're going to go with the public draft board because I think PFF has their own stuff that takes everything off course. And I got on a couple of recommendations to bump up some of the settings here to make it what they feel is a little bit more what the average team goes for. And so we're going to give that a shot tonight. We're going to enter this draft, and I want to work on a pre-draft trade. We could probably tick it away, but there are two teams that I'm targeting in particular. One is the Los Angeles Rams, and I want to try to get that 19th pick from them, and I'm going to use that third rounder from next year. Now, what else do they have to get this done? Can 159 get it done? Probably not. Can 131 get it done? It's less than 50% chance. So I don't think that that's going to be the way that it goes. So I'm going to hold off on that, and we're going to start the draft. We're going to let it tick. I got it on a nice leisurely pace at this point, and there we saw Joe Alt, Jalise Fuaga come off the board back-to-back in the top 10. I'm going to give it one more pick. There we go. Maybe two. And then Ole comes off right after. So the three top tackles of the top six go. I don't have Fuaga as high as most, and that's perfectly fine. You got some movement there. Broncos are on the clock. We're not going to be able to trade with them. I guarantee it. We can take a look at the Seahawks, the next NFC team. but I don't think they're going to budge. They need a quarterback of the future, in my opinion, and I think they're still going to be looking at that. So what I'm trying to do here is just see if there's any interest from the Seahawks, and there's not. Jacksonville, I'm doubtful. They got work that they got to do. Even for the third, they're not even going to think about it. Don't care about the Bengals. They wouldn't trade with us at all. Rams, there's the one that I'm looking for. 23%. If I threw in 131, might get us up to 46. Not helping us. So basically nothing has changed for the Rams since the draft started. Pittsburgh would be next. They have 20. Oh, that might get it done if I can get in. All right, here we go. So according to PFF, as it's going through the logistics, we could get to 20. We have a 50-50 chance of getting to 20 with 32 and the third rounder that L'Jarius Sneed produced if we throw in 159. Not my favorite thing. I wouldn't want to give up 131 for sure. And 159 I can live with. We can probably move around again to try to recoup that if we want to. So I'm going to give this a shot. You guys let me know if you don't dig this. But, hey, we got it done in one go, and I'm going to take that. I'm going to call that a win. So we have a few picks here. We're on the board in 3 picks. Let's see what 8 picks. Let's see what happens. Latham goes, Fontenot goes. That's what I was trying to get to Fontenot. I do like the way that he fits for this Chiefs team, and that puts us on the board at 20. So obviously we have some options here. Now, we have some trade offers too. We could trade back and see what we can recoup if we have to. But let's take a look at the board. Obviously, our 2 biggest needs are wide receiver and offensive tackle. Now, I like Mims. Mims is a roll of the dice, though. We need to be honest with that. Mims is not a finished product, has had some injuries, has not had a lot of playing time. We have to be careful with that because I think people get carried away with his value. I was hoping Fatana was here, but he's not. That's all right. Mims is viable. I see Barton as an interior player, and I don't have him this high up. He's a fringe first-round guy for me. Same with Tyler Guyton. He's the guy that I've been trying to get into in other mock drafts around the interwebs. Brian Thomas is an interesting choice here too, and Adonai Mitchell. So, again, going with what L'Jarius has helped them do, they could get what we feel is an upside tackle for this draft. Is it the guy that I wanted? Not necessarily. That's okay. Let's look what the trade bait is. Eagles are willing to come up 2 picks and give us 53? No. They will give us 120, though, I am pretty sure. So do we move back 2 spots and try to pick up another pick or 2? 172 would be a nice upgrade. We could get 120 and 161. Now, the interesting thing for the Eagles is they're probably looking at a wide receiver too. Right now, given the way that it is, I am feeling like I really want to go tackle here if we make this selection. There's 2 tackles here that I like that I think could fit the Chiefs system and could do us some good. Amarius Mims and Tyler Guyton are those guys. Now, likewise, at the wide receiver spot, I can see Brian Thomas in this particular offense. Some stretch over the top. You know, he's not a full route tree guy, similar to Adonai Mitchell. Mitchell's a little bit more versatile, and I know a lot of you guys like him, so we could play with that. But again, there's 2, 3, maybe even 4 options if you're really pushing for 32 here. But there's 2 viable options for 20 or 22 at the wide receiver spot. So we have plenty of options. I don't know what the Eagles want to come up for, but I am tempted to move back now, knowing that we didn't get Fatanu and we didn't get Latham. I think he's a viable right tackle. I was hoping Shanu. I've seen him fall in some mocks. Fatanu was the guy that I was going for to try to get here in the low teens, 20, to try to get him. But if the Eagles are willing to just come up for 2, that's crazy. Can I get 53 for 95? And I'll give you that. It doesn't look like it. I bet you I could get 53 for 64, though. So we move back 2. We move up 14 in the second. And we move up a whole round from 131. Oh, no, that's moving back. Excuse me. We could do this, though. We can move up 10 from 131 to 120 Maybe we get 161. We can just do all kinds of pick swaps and still get this done. I kind of like that. Okay, so the Eagles want somebody. I'm willing to pull this trigger because we're moving all of our picks up, basically. We get to 50, which really changes things on the wide receiver front, I believe. So I think we're going to pull the trigger on that one. And we got it done. So we're going to move back 2 spots. We're going to see who they take. They went Guyton, and Brian Thomas went off right after it. So we are still now in position to select either Amarius Mims or Donnie Mitchell. And I know that we've been going wide receiver quite a bit lately. I think we have to take the fact that we're in a position to get what I think is a top 5 tackle in this class. I'm surprised Guyton went first. I was getting ready to go Mitchell because I thought Mims was going to go. Mims has the upside. And it's funny, Mims is a dichotomy. I'm going to write about this on NFL 33, or maybe I'll just do a quick podcast over there. If you're not subbed on NFL 33, go check that out because that's where all of my machinations and Dan's and a couple of our other contributors are posting stuff too. Mims is a case that I akin to J.J. McCarthy. You haven't been able to see it. Mims, because he's been off the field due to injury and some other things, but obviously played behind some good players in the past. J.J. McCarthy, because he wasn't asked to do things, but yet people seem to want to give J.J. the benefit of the doubt, moving into the top 5 on some boards, and not giving Mims the same kind of benefit. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I think right now I'm going to go Mims because I didn't expect him to be here, and he is a quality player, knowing that we still have moved up from 64 to 50 here, and we have moved up all of our other picks as well. So I'm kind of digging that. I think what we're going to do, and we're just going to take one more check. Cooper DeJean is there. So is Nate Wiggins. Now, both of those corners would then replace the potential for L'Jarius Sneed, but I feel like the Chiefs like what Josh and Jalen have, and I think they have Najee coming back, and I think they like Nick Jones, and I think they're going to rebuild around Trent McDuffie. I don't think that they're going to go first-round corner, especially if they move up. If they move up, I think they're going out for the tackle, so I think we're going to take him, and we're going to call that an accomplishment. We're going to see what happens. Barton goes, Wiggins goes, there goes DeJean, and I might be saying that right. You guys can make fun of me later. Perfectly acceptable. And we're coming down to 50, where we are. We traded up with the Eagles to get to. So I just want to go back. Newton comes off the D tackle. That could have been an outside option. Darius Robinson goes. Chop Robinson goes. I don't have Chop as a first-round talent. He's just too light. Penix is what the Steelers wanted to get. That's interesting, given that they just traded for Fields. I'm not sure that's what happens in reality, but a team coming to 32 for a quarterback is a scenario that I do think we'll have to revisit that in coming mocks. Then Franklin goes above Mitchell and McConkey, and they all go 3 in a row, and then Worthy below them. So had we been at 32, we might have had a shot at any of those players. That's kind of interesting. And then let's see, we get to Kamari Lassiter. I do like him as well. Braylon Trice, I think he's getting a raw deal right now. I think he's higher on most boards than people think. Leggett goes. Bo Nix comes in 40s. Pearsall, nice pick there for the Colts. I think that's going to help them. And then Keon goes right behind him. Braswell. That's high for Cooper, in my opinion, but we're on the clock. And now we get to take a look. A lot of those guys that I'd hope might drop at wide receiver are now gone. Burton's there. Polk is there. McMillan's there as well. I actually have Polk and McMillan a lot closer than this does. I am tempted to look at that at wide receiver. Overall, I don't think Peyton Wilson should be a first-round pick. Sanistril, if I say that right, that's interesting. Again, a nickel corner, but I don't think the Chiefs want to do that. I'm tempted right now with Braden Fisk, as he would be somebody that can attack the middle next to Chris Jones. But the Chiefs brought back their whole defensive line minus Mike Dana, and that still might happen now that the trade for L'Jarius Sneed has opened up the cap space. Excuse me. So I do think that's an option as well. So the question becomes, do we take what looks like on this board a little bit early for Jermaine Burton, who I think can play in this 3-man set with Hollywood and your phenom that, man, Rice, Hollywood, Burton really is intriguing. I'm not huge on Burton, but at 52 rank and at our 50th pick here, I'm good with that. 32, I would not be able to do that, but at 50, I can do that. The question becomes: is it Braden Fisk, who is one of the few talents in at defensive tackle, or is it wide receiver? That's really what this is coming down to for me. And knowing that we have to wait a little bit extra here to get down to 95. Let's see what the trade offers are. We could move back again. We won the trade last time we traded with the Buffalo Bills. I'm just going to say that. Let's see what they're offering to move back 10. They don't have much to offer, to tell you the truth. But they're willing to pretty much sell out for it and give us all their middle round picks. That's interesting. We go back one more with Detroit. And they're not even willing to give up the 73. So, yeah, they're not feeling it. Moving back 10 is kind of a tough one for me here because you definitely lose Fisk is my thought, and you'd lose a couple of the wide receivers. So definitely not my favorite. Let's see if we can con Cleveland into it. They'd give up the third. They're not going to give up that third round pick. Maybe if I let them just slide back. Okay, maybe if we move that up. We move back again. We move the third round pick up a little bit. And we can pick up 156. We're adding to the depth of this draft class. I think I'm going to pull the trigger here. Oh, except I clicked off of it. We're going to make the Cleveland Browns do this. 54 to 50. I want 85 for 95. And you're going to give me 156. Okay. I'm pulling the trigger on that. Oh, interesting. At 80%, not going to let me do it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're going to move back 4 places. We'll see what the Cleveland Browns do. They wanted Wilson. Waste of a pick there. Roman Wilson comes off right after Peyton Wilson, Sanistril, and then Javon Bullard. So we have all of the guys that we wanted, and we moved 95 up to 85. I'm digging that noise right there. The Jets want us to go back quite a bit. I'm not interested in either of those moves. So we are still set at the same position. Now we have 54 and 85. I think it's got to be Jermaine Burton. Fisk would fit, but the Chiefs have brought back everyone. Maybe next time we'll try to see if we can work this Braden Fisk, him still being on the board. But let's go Burton and accomplish the other task of rounding out that wide receiver room. We're falling down. And if we had moved back, I think we would have been in trouble. We're falling down to 85. We've moved up to 85 to get there through one of the trades. A lot of guys coming off. Spencer Rattler is a third rounder. I think that's about right. That's the first time I've seen that in these mocks. Do like Max Melton. He was a guy I was going to keep my eyes on. Okay, so we are into pick 85, mid-third. We moved up out of the bottom of the third round. And now we have, I think, a few more options. We've done and accomplished the goal of solidifying the big picks and getting our actual needs met. So I do feel good about that. We have a bunch of trade offers. The most Cardinals want us just to move back 5. I would take 104 and I'd give you 156. Dang, that's tempting too. See, I get lost in the trades because there's so much movement. Gabriel Murphy's a decent edge. I think 80 is a little high for him myself. 85, where we're at, I could maybe live with. He would also solidify and give more rotation. If you're not going to bring back Mike Dana, he gives you more of an edge guy, where many he would then play inside as a pass rusher when he gets back. I think that's a possibility. Quarterbacks, tackles. We're into the third tier of corners. I don't think I'm taking Cam Kitchens at all. I don't need a linebacker. Brendan Rice is tempting as well. And here's the thing. If you think you want another center so that you can move Creed to guard next year, Van Pelt is a tempting guy to go look at. I'm just going to tell you now. Pooney's in there as well. He could play a number of positions. Liu Fao, dude, that's a guy that I really like. I don't think he's going to last to 120, but for the Chiefs to add to their linebacker level, it's not a priority, so I can't justify doing that. Bo Limmer is another guy that I think could come in, play in this offense as a backup. The next Allegretti is basically what I'm getting at. I like Chris Abrams-Drain. He might be there at 120. We can try for that. Okay, so let's aim that way. I think I know what you guys are going to say in that you want a little more pass rush. I'm trying to find a reasonable defensive back to go after with L'Jarius but I don't have the greatest grade on Green. Let's just take a look at it. And I don't think safety's a viable option here. There's DJ James. There's Abrams-Drain. There's Cam Hart later. Now, I see Cam Hart as a day 2 guy. I believe he'll go in the top 95, 104 with the comp picks. Dan thinks he's a day 2 pick. I don't see that, but hey, we're going to take advantage of this for now. We're going to come back for one of those guys with our next pick at 120. I think we'll just add to the pass rush, try to throw everything we at it with Gabriel Murphy, who, if you want to go see somebody beat Talise Fuago off the edge, go watch Gabriel Murphy. He's the other guy across from Leao Tulatu at UCLA last season. Not enough power, but enough to get by as a circle, as a other half of Felix Anudike-Uzomah. So I think that's there. Cam Hart goes right before we pick. That's unfortunate. Muhammad Kamara goes off as well. He was a guy that I think could be another viable option for 120 here. Tyke Smith's in there. Marshawn Lloyd, I think folks are really going to like him there. Cooper Beebe, love that option. Braylon Allen is a guy that I like, but Dan doesn't, so I'll stay away from him. I still like Will Shipley as a running back. We'll see if we can come back to him. We have 156 as our next pick, so basically an entire round. Snot, Nelson, we've seen some of these. Mekhi Wingo, I think, is a little underrated right now. But I think what might make you guys happy is get another back to help out Isaiah Pacheco. I don't usually do this. This is the earliest that I could go, would be here in the 4th round, the top of day 2. Let's put Marshawn Lloyd on this roster and see what happens. I think you guys might like that. That's a 1-2 punch you can get behind, I'm pretty sure. I like the power of Ostrich Estime from Notre Dame. I do like that as well. And you can see a lot of the guys that we were talking about are now going off the board here. Garendo is the top running back in terms of athleticism that has been measured to this point. Now we're back on the clock here at 156. We do have trade offers. Miami wants to come up just 2 spots. What are you going to give me for him? 184? No. Well, if you're not going to do that, then I'm not really interested. What did you think you were going to get done? You're going to give me 241? I just took a running back. Let's see who's out here. Jordan Travis, Xavier Thomas, Dallin Holker. I do like Holker. You guys have seen me take him before, so I generally am trying to give you a different kind of view here, but that could work. Lob's still here. He's my day 3 guy as well. Rouse is a backup tackle. We need to look at the DBs. And Bo Braid I do like, but not a corner. We know that. Let's see what corners look like. Ryan Watts is a late round selection. I think he actually would go around here. I could get down with that, but we have another pick in 15 picks, so I'm not going to go there yet. Again, our philosophy today is banking on the fact that the Chiefs like what they have in-house. And they're going to let Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson fight to be the outside corner opposite Trent McDuffie, and that Najee Johnson is probably going to take the nickel duties if it's not Jamari Conner. So maybe you do want to add a safety like Bo Braid that would let Connor come down to the nickel, knowing that you're getting Cook back and you have Reed and you've signed Bush. That might be the way that you want to do it and just throw numbers at it. So let's take Braid. We'll get him off the board. It's a solid selection in terms of his grade here. And now we're back on, just a few picks later at 161. I'm liking what we see here in terms of versatility. And the interior guy that I like is Myles Murphy from North Carolina. Tyrone Tracy, not related that I know of. He also has a pretty good athletic matrix that I like. I like Barner from Michigan. Ryan Watts is still here. I think we have to look really at the tight end role. Tip Ryman, I like as well. Athletic, can get the job done. I'm not huge on Luke McCaffrey, but I think Barner might be the way to go here. Get a depth tight end. Let's get that done. We're going to get our last selection off the board and call it a mock and see how we like it. As we come down, we're still getting this done here in the 5th. I like that we've pulled our draft picks up into the 5th. Now we have a lot of running backs availability here. Let's look to see. We could trade back out if we really wanted to. They'd give us 179 and not 192. So not going to go with the Seahawks. They only have 181. Yeah, I'm not. It's a little bit farther back. Oh, and that's the Chargers. I don't want to do that anyway. Rams wouldn't play ball with us before, so we're going to take a player and be happy. I do want to take a look at who's left in here. Anybody that stands out. Hardy's an excellent athletic matrix and would be a special teamer all the way. I do think Watts would be as well. Interior O-line is still available. Oh, if I don't click it off. Best guy here would be Bartolini, in my opinion. I like Hansen as well as a day 3 selection. Not a ton of value given where they're ranked right here. So let's see what else we can get. We went tight end. We have a running back. We went wide receiver. We got offensive tackle. We got an edge. So now let's look at DT. Best on the board, in my opinion, is going to be Jefferson from LSU. So let's wrap that up. So this is a version where the Chiefs got there. Let's see if I can speed up the conclusion as well. Yes. And we'll get this done. We were able to trade out and get up in the draft, which I know a lot of folks are really keen to do right now. So I wanted to give that a shot. I do feel we accomplished our goal, and I'm solidly happy about that. I'm going to try to expand this window and give us a look when it comes up here. There we go. So we were able to trade up. We were able to go get a tackle that we haven't been able to talk much about because we weren't able to get him previously. So we've addressed the tackle position with Amarius Mims. We got a couple of trades done. On the clock, Eagles helped us out and got us a lot of volume as well, where we moved everything up the board. We came back with Jermaine Burton. Give us a little bit over the top, kind of like that. Gabriel Murphy in the 3rd. We had moved up for that one as well. Get a little bit more edge power. Try to supplement Chris Jones with as many pass rushers, stand up or otherwise, that we can get on that front for Steve Spagnuolo. We come back in the 4th with Marshawn Lloyd, a really nice acquisition to pair with Isaiah Pacheco that you could see doing some real damage. A little bit out of character for me. I will only take a running back on day 3, but he is a guy that Dan and I both really like for this offense. So we went with him. Come back with Bo Braid, who I thought looked solid at the Senior Bowl and I think could fit into this defense. AJ Barner, another depth tight end, and then we finish up with Jordan Jefferson. So overall, I like what we did here. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Are you happy with the haul that the Chiefs were able to pull off in this scenario? Let me see if I can show the whole thing a little bit better. There we go. That's the take. Looking for opinion. I hope you enjoy this. Enjoy your Sunday night. Tomorrow we are live. Q&A like every Monday night. We're going to have a good time. I'll be in a snowstorm, so we'll see if that works out the same way that we hope. And thank you for being with us. Like, sub, hit the bell, be with us tomorrow. Have film coming again, and we're going to continue down the path with the draft. Check out the Matrix, available now on rogueapc.com. Have a great night.